Okay, he should be joining. And there he is.
Here I am.
How are you, Mr. Bundy?
I'm fine, Mr. Wasserman. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Opening day was amazing today.
How about that? Opening day 23.
hmm So, the cards. I've had a chance to open up the pack and take a look and see what I could see. And the first card that I came across here was Adley Rutschman.
And how's he doing?
So here's his basic side.
Oh, that's killer, you know. Not many good catchers in this set, and he is looking like a superstar.
Now we take a look at his advanced side, and let's see if I can get that in here. Here it is, right here.
It's just more of the same, and it's that number 4 pattern. He's just killer.
Sure is. Look at the arm rating they gave him this year. This might place him somewhere in the top of the catchers list, would it not?
Of all this list, because it's a real down year, right? Good cards like that aren't going to be normal.
Bruce, I'm gonna ask you something. You said that it might be a down year. Can you tell us a little bit more? What do you think?
Well, I mean, the obvious is that the batting averages are going to be down, and but it's an amazing year. You have so many good attributes. There are so many cute ringers. Judge, the list is actually endless of freaks in this set. Then you add
candy store.
It's a candy store, absolutely. And for years, this is one of the best years I've seen in a decade of Strat cards, where you have your choice of power, average speed, defense. There are about 25 A bunners and another 50 B bunners, and there is about 60 B hit and runners. That's a lot, and they're going to accommodate 210 starred players. So the combination is just reckless this year, where you can lose by any means you know how. If you know how to do small ball, you're going to go out there and try, because it's out there. There's average, there's speed, there's power, but it all loses.
Not so much on the average, though. I'm seeing a good amount of cards that get on base. There are some walks.
WAR and on base percentage is another feather in the hat, but the real catch is that they're all losers, because there's over 300 pitching cards between that should be available in your draft that are draft worthy this year. It's a bottomless pit. Everyone's going to have pitching. You cannot draft away pitching.
But the kind of pitching that they're going to have, from what it looks like, it might be low inning pitchers. We see a lot fewer of the pitchers that are in the 160 range, the 150 inning range. In fact, I would venture to say that there are far less of the not only asterisk starters, but pitchers with less than 140 innings.
Right.
Although there is an abundance of pitching.
It starts at 44 and goes up to 99, but there is a massive abundance of those pitchers. It's so much so that you are going to be overwhelmed. You can come in with no pitching and have the best pitch. And so in a 10-team league, anybody's going to win this year. In a 24-team league, it's going to be wide open because everybody's going to have an angle. There's so many teams that are going to be in so different states, and they're going to be trying what they do. And hit and run may make it this year. It may be the year for the hit and run. It may be the year to steal. It may be the year to bunt. All these things can play. And so small ball is huge this year. At the same time, average and slugging is just phenomenal. You can load your team up with some great power. If your league's already drafted, though, you may have a difficult time acquiring that power.
Yeah, but what I'm seeing
for average, but on base is huge. It's going to run all the way through the draft.
But the full-time players with the big power and the average, that I'm not seeing. I'm seeing it in concentrated doses with a lot of the platoon type of players. And I'm just wondering now, like the players who are above 500 plate appearances, 550 plate appearances, we're not quite seeing the same, not only averages, but it might be few and far than we've seen in the past.
Oh, it's been quite abundance, and it's been a real beating on the pitching staffs the last couple of years. And this year it comes around where there's adequate pitching where it can become the dominant factor, which it hasn't been in 3 to 5 years.
By the way, shout out to Ron McGrath. Ron, we catch you on the chat over there. So appreciate you jumping in. As I'm taking a look at some of the cards right now, as I break open the set, I'll see if we can find something interesting for everybody. We see a couple of cards that have gone down a little bit. Here's an interesting case. The case of this guy, Trevor Story.
Oh my! Oh, poor Trevor. I miss him dearly. He's actually just how many 1-second basemen with shellacking power do you think you're going to come across? Not many. And Trevor's Story certainly holds everyone to that level. He's one of the top 10 cards in the set, in my opinion. In the drafts that are going to come.
Well, he's strong against lefties. That much we were able to see, but you're right. How many ones at second base that are going to have that kind of power, even if he's in the 300 plate appearance range, the impact that he has still. The card looks a little bit diminished from years past against righties. He fills out the 2 column a little bit. I'll just bring that back up there as one guy.
Yeah, it's another good card for Trevor's Story, even though it's an off year.
Mm-hmm. So we see Story, and he got himself a pretty nice card. Bogarts goes to a 2. Take a look at Bogarts' card over here. This is something pretty cool. Look at this one on the advanced side.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. That's a nice one over there, Bogarts. And right next to him is Rob Refsnyder, who's got himself like a mini mutant card. So as I'm pouring through the set, a little bit more, we saw a couple of players go down in rating over the, in their fielding ratings. We've seen some players go down. One that I see over here is this guy from Baltimore, Cedric Mullen. Now, he's a 2E0, so he's 1 year removed off of that one. He still has speed, but look how heavily one-sided that card is.
Well, it's good to be a lefty who faces a lot of righties, and that's what he does.
That's
and
like,
then on
that's
top
like a Strat person's favorite.
And then on top of it, he's Victorino. He's a 2-0. So there you go. How bad is that? He'll that card will be used up.
The savior of many good strat cards is a really strong reverse card, especially for a lefty. Right? How many times have we seen a seriously reverse lefty pick it all up against righties and become very, very usable? I think this year we see that a little with Mullins, and we might see that a little bit with a guy like Max Kepler, who gets his one. Low batting average, but he's so strong there against the righties.
Oh, no, please bring his card up because he's strong against the lefties, too. And you would play him against the lefties. And he's got lots of power to go with that card. His problem is he's only got 414 plates. And that's a good problem. If he's that good and a 1 and he has 414 plates, he's highly regarded in my organizations.
Mr. Bundy, what do you think of this one?
See, I can't see the names, Mark. You're going to have to do better. So if I can't see the names, I'm not reading it well. It's only my phone, buddy. Oh, who is it? Is Perez? Is that who it was?
Stephen Kwan.
Stephen Kwan. Oh, I can do that. Hold on. I'll have his card up here in a sec.
Did you live with that card at the top of your lineup?
Haven't gotten him yet. Okay, Kwan. I can spell it. I could probably find him. Got him. And he's just excellent. He's great Rookie of the Year card. And he's weak against lefties, but he's just that much more deadly against righties, and which is his claim to fame. A 1-1E5 in left, perfect. This is a must-have card for most sets. Most leagues, right?
Cleveland did very well.
Yeah, they did. And
Manuel Clase.
Clase, well, there you go. How blank is that card? Let's see.
Blank. It's a blank card.
So these guys, Clase and Kwan, I mean, if you're in a 10, 12, 24 team league, you're always trying to look for, like in a top 10 league or a top 10 league, you want to find the top 10 players at every position and hug them to death. Mm-hmm. And if you can get anybody in the top
qualify 10, in that.
And so, with that being said, you should never trade away a Class A. You should never trade away a Kwan. And that's my approach to the game. You simply don't want to be caught not having a top 10 at every position.
That is the name of the game, especially if you're playing in let's say a 24 team league or whatever, is trying to get your top position players. And you want in a top 10 league, you want in a 10 league you want your top 3. Top in a 24 league, I'm gonna want to look to have guys in my top 5 at least at all my positions.
Yes, your lofty expectations.
Yeah, you can, but
your lofty expectations are hit with the dose of reality that not many teams can have top 3s or 5s, period. So a top 20 and a top 24 league would be accommodating too. If people would only put those rules to their plan, I think they'd get a lot better results, because it's hard to get top 10. It's hard to get top 20 at every position. And then you add the math and do the lefty-righty. And when you're building your lefty-righty combinations, they got to make a top 10 card. And that's how you measure your team. You measure how many top 10s you make. Another way you measure a team is how many 2.0 wars.
Right, doing your players sort.
By doing is sorting the players by war and then looking at each team and seeing how many top 2.0 cards are on each team. And if you do that, it's an amazing tool that Strat has given us this war. Because
certainly looking at those cards that are 4.0 and above, but 2.0 is a good measuring stick. 3.0, 2.0. I know 2.0 could be a good standard, but the 3.0s.
They include the Strat ratings. And so it is a great tool for you guys heading into drafts right now, is to use that war rating. And in however you slice and dice.
War rating is an incredibly powerful development that the game gave us. As far as the ratings and how it's going to perform, yes, it takes into account fielding and it takes into account speed as well.
There is no better tool to use beyond that. You can use other
evaluation,
but to get the numbers, you're going to get it from the Strat sort by war.
I agree with you. I'm a person who likes to read all the ratings and all the numbers, and I do my sorts and due diligence. But coming down to it, an overall performance, I don't think that there's too many overall evaluation tools like that player sort and sort by war, and then manipulate your parameters as you go around for whatever you need. You're absolutely right about that. I'm running through a little bit of the cards. I just broke them up here. And I want to move a little bit further down the list here and see what else we could find here. Searching for a certain New York team, actually. A lot of people are kind of curious.
That's
Los Angeles, Minnesota,
the Yankees,
and New York. Who do you think I'm talking about, Bruce?
Oh, the Judge team.
Aaron Judge, huh? Yeah, Aaron Judge. Let me throw the basic side out there for y'all, okay? So here's the basic. Oh, it's ridiculous.
It is, but I don't think it's as good as the rookie card.
Okay.
I mean,
let's see the advanced.
Here you get to the advanced side. Hey, the 2 column's gonna show up all the time for if you're having a bad year.
Oh, look what I see. Look at his arm.
Oh yeah, his arm and everything is 1E0 -4. He's a 3 in center field for obvious reasons. He'd be 2 used up at center field. And a 6-star 19. Oh my God.
I want to avoid you putting him in center field and misusing the card.
He's a 14 runner, which is nice, and a D&D, so he's swinging away. There's no button with this guy.
Why would anybody even think of doing otherwise?
Right. What a clobber town. He's just got.
But I'm seeing some kind of something over here that I'm curious about here. We got like an unclutch on him.
An unclutch. Are you talking about
not clutch?
Oh, well, he's got he's -5 against righties. Against righties and -5 against
lefties. See it there.
Yeah, he's -5 against Lefties and -8 against righties. That ain't gonna hurt him whatsoever. He's gonna hit his home runs, that's for sure.
Well, if they'll be talking, they'll be talking, but that's something interesting. But anyway, that is a heck of a card. Oh my goodness.
So it's a
Look at the
crazy
power.
card.
That's
on base.
that's a I'm not going to make comparisons. I'll leave that up to everybody else, but that's one big card.
It sure is. It's an offshoot of a one column card. And so 1 and 3 to 2 are the where they've put everything. And against lefties, they added 1-7 strikeout. That being said, strong team all the way around, a strong card all the way around. It's insanely good.
So I'm going to take a little tour here.
Makes it easy when you got him.
Here's something interesting. I'm going to just go down to Texas for a little bit, okay? Because the guy who was at opening day today, he came up from Texas. Derek Townsend made the mission. He was like second online. And he put himself in a raffle. And wouldn't you know it, he won one of those Strat-o-matic black sets.
Ooh.
Oh, I got something I got a surprise for y'all. But anyway, here's a Texas boy here. This is Low.
Oh yeah, there you
go.
Nathaniel Lowe is gonna kill.
Whoa! Now, how about that? That's a card.
It's certainly not Judge, but that being said, against lefties, he's just brutal. Against righties, he's going to be brutal too. He's a one column pattern. Batting average is excellent. On base is a little low. He's a lot lefty. He's going to destroy lefties.
No and major. The best part is he's young.
Oh yeah, for a rookie. Oh my gosh.
How about that for a rookie card?
Yeah, he's a 4.10. He's a 1-11 speed, so he's not exactly fast. He's a DC, but he can hit and run, but he's got a 300 average, so why? And he's got 5 and gets caught on 12 for a 13.5, so he's out there for his bat, and he's going to hit 302 if you play him full time.
Well, speaking of Texas, Corey Seager. A lot of power at shortstop.
Oh my. So there's a lot of shortstops available this year, and one who's going to fall through the cracks most heinously is Corey Seager.
Look at that. Even though he's got that 3, I think that power kind of compensates a little bit for him.
28, and with a 3E19, he's got 151 and 80, so he's got 231 power against lefties. And he's got 150 power against righties. Home run power, that
150 power.
150 home run power against righties and 231 against lefties. It's a dominant card. And you're not going to find that kind of home run much anywhere else.
No, you're not.
Especially in the draft. It's not going to be there. You're going to get a lot more average and on base and speed in the draft, but you're not going to get that kind of power.
Well, certainly not with the plate appearances either. Here's something. The Mets have an interesting team this year. Okay, I wanted to just kind of go over their outfield a little bit here. as I bring it up here. First of all, I guess in the infield or the outfield, Jeff McNeil. Look at that advanced. Pretty sweet, Jeff McNeil.
Jeff McNeil's got some of the best offenses here. It's all hit. He's going to be a dynamo.
What makes him so unique is that 2E5. E5, 2E5. How beautiful is a 2E5, especially with that kind of an offense?
Right, and he can play third base as a 4E14 and the outfield as a 3. He's a great asset. He's Joey Wendell in a sense, but kills in offense.
Right, Joey Wendell always gets that great card with the great defense. He's a killer, Joey Wendell. He's a killer.
And he shows up again and again. He's like
a guy.
A bad penny if there ever was one.
There's a guy, Joey Wendell, who just year after year, lefty, at second base, 2 low E's, and third base, and shortstop, and he just hits and doubles. And I think I would have saw his card before, but then I got distracted, and I went to New York, where I got to see these 2 interesting cards here. I got to see little Louis Guillorme. Let me see if I can bring him up there. And there's something noteworthy about his card. Let me see if I can get a better shot.
Is it the 1E3?
Yes. Yes. Noteworthy.
Yes, that is very noteworthy. And he hit a legitimate 273. So who knows? I mean, he could be a Gold Glover of the future, certainly.
A 1E3. Let's think back. Take a walk down memory lane. When was the last time you saw a second baseman with a 1E3?
I don't know. Is it Russell?
Bill Russell?
Yeah.
Cassie Russell? I don't know. No. I can't remember that low of an E rating.
Who is it? Dodgers Russell.
He's one of the cards that I got to see. And then there's another one here.
How about Steve? I misspoke. Steve Garvey. I'm sorry.
Steve Garvey?
Yeah. He had a good run of
he should be in the Hall of Fame.
And who we got here?
Pete Alonso from New York.
Never mind. Yeah, that's silly card.
Pretty interesting card. So, moving through New York, I'm looking for one of the cards specifically. Here he is. And I think every year we have to take a look at Jake. We have to see Jake DeGrom. Sorry, guys. I play advanced. We play a lot of advanced.
Well, whoever has him isn't going to cut him, huh? He's going to play great.
He dishes up, let's see, 4, 3. Oh, well, against lefties, he kind of gives up a little bit there.
Are you going to be afraid of that?
No. 3 on the ballpark side? No. 3, 5,
you're going to maximize him. He's going to get
half home run.
I would get a dozen starts with
floating.
Yep, I'd get a dozen starts with him.
Sure. It's a pretty blank card.
Right. It's very blank.
Pretty blank card against righties. So anyway, kind of going back a little bit to what I've seen a little bit with these new cards. Speed and defense, and speed and variables, and getting the runners to second base. It's always true. It holds true in any league. Maybe a little more so this year.
All
I'm
right.
not seeing a lot of the players with those 280, 290s, with the 30 plus hits on the card.
Oh, but
There's a few, but the
what
full
is
timers.
that's the how can you say, smoke and mirrors of the game, that in this card set there is so much on base. That's one. And secondly, there is 200 plus starred players. The thing that tells me is you better come out with a defensive catcher, because everybody's going to be starred at, at, at those pivotal times, because everyone will have bench speed as well. And you better have that minus arm catcher out
Venture
there.
to say you would like to see your catchers with a -2 rating or better.
Yes, you would.
You
And
know,
9-2 is strong. This year, you're going to need it.
pay attention to your pitcher holds when you're making your talent, your talent evaluation this year.
Yes, very much so.
Anyway, Bruce, we're gonna wrap it up. This was like the first of a half hour. We'll be doing some more strat chats and talking more strat inside baseball and strategy as time goes on. But thanks for joining. Appreciate it.
Sounds good, Mark. Thank you very much for having me.
Hey guys, have a good night. Bye.
Go Strat.